At 2:17 in the morning, the camera caught something no one was supposed to see. There was no sound, no warning, no reason for anyone to be awake. But Luna was. And what she did in the next 60 seconds changed everything. If the camera hadn't been recording, no one would believe it. Not the doctors, not Olivia's family, not even Olivia herself. But the footage doesn't lie. Luna didn't ask for recognition that night. She just acted. You have a voice right now, and it takes 1 second to use it. She couldn't speak. Don't scroll past her story. Subscribe. Be the witness she deserves. This isn't a story about heroism or miracles. It's about an ordinary night, an ordinary woman, an ordinary dog. The kind of night where nothing is supposed to happen. Most cameras capture nothing. Empty rooms, stillness, silence. This one was no different. Until it was. Because cameras don't have opinions. They don't interpret. They just record. And what this one recorded can't be explained by coincidence, can't be dismissed as luck, can't be ignored. What happened at 2:17 a.m. wasn't supposed to matter, but it did. The camera wasn't there to capture anything special. It wasn't meant to prove a miracle or record a moment anyone would replay. It was there because Olivia's sister wouldn't stop calling. She'd installed it 3 months earlier, after Evelyn showed up unannounced one Tuesday morning, let herself in with the spare key, and found Olivia still asleep on the couch at noon. The TV was on. The coffee pot was cold. Luna was pressed against the couch cushions like she'd been on all night. Evelyn didn't yell, didn't lecture, just said, "I'm buying you a camera, and you're going to use it." Olivia tried to argue, tried to say she was fine, that she'd just been tired, that living alone after the divorce was an adjustment, but she was handling it. Evelyn didn't buy it. 2 days later, the camera arrived, small, wireless, easy to mount in the corner of the living room where it could see the whole space. "Just turn it on at night," Evelyn had said. "I'm not asking you to watch it. Just let it record, please." So Olivia did. Most nights the footage showed nothing at all. A quiet room, a woman sleeping on the couch because the bedroom still felt too empty, a gray dog curled at her feet, chin resting on Olivia's ankle. Hours of stillness, nothing worth replaying. Olivia checked it once in the first week, scrolled through 30 minutes of herself sleeping, felt ridiculous, stopped checking after that. The camera just kept recording, night after night, the same routine, Olivia falling asleep with her phone in her hand, Luna settling beside her, the glow of the muted TV casting shadows across the room. Nothing ever changed. Until the night of November 14th. That's when Olivia watched the footage back for the first time in 2 months, not because she wanted to, because the hospital made her. She sat in the waiting room with her phone, hands shaking, scrubbing through the timeline. Hours of nothing. Then 2:17 a.m. That's when she saw it. Luna's head lifting, slowly, deliberately. Olivia almost kept scrolling, almost dismissed it as nothing. But something in Luna's posture stopped her. The way she stood, the way she walked in front of the couch, the way she stared at Olivia's face for a full minute without moving. Olivia's finger hovered over the screen. And then Luna placed her paw on Olivia's chest. That's when Olivia realized. She almost didn't wake up that night, and the only reason she did was because of what happened next. Luna wasn't new. She'd been with Olivia for 3 years, a rescue from the county shelter. Gray coat, white chest, ears that folded back whenever someone raised their voice. But she almost never made it out. The shelter had flagged her twice. Separation anxiety, they wrote on her file. Cannot be left alone, becomes destructive, not suitable for adoption. Translation, they were going to put her down. Olivia found her on a Saturday in March. She wasn't even looking for a dog. She'd gone to the shelter to drop off blankets after cleaning out the house post-divorce, trying to fill the hours with something that felt like purpose. Luna was in the last kennel, pressed against the back wall, shaking. A volunteer walked by and said, "Don't bother with that one, she's got issues." Olivia stopped anyway. Luna didn't come to the front of the kennel like the other dogs, didn't wag her tail, just stared at Olivia with these wide, desperate eyes that seemed to say, "Please don't leave me here." Olivia knew that look. She'd seen it in the mirror every morning since her husband walked out. She filled out the adoption papers that afternoon. The shelter warned her, "She's going to follow you everywhere. She won't let you out of her sight. Some people can't handle that." Olivia didn't care. Luna came home that night, and the warnings were right. She followed Olivia into the bathroom, into the kitchen, sat outside the shower, whined if Olivia closed a door between them. People called it clingy. Olivia called it loyalty. When friends came over, they'd ask why she kept such a nervous dog. "She's exhausting," one of them said. "Don't you want a dog that's, more independent?" Olivia didn't know how to explain it. That Luna wasn't exhausting. She was the only thing that made the house feel less empty. That after spending years with someone who could walk out without looking back, having a dog who refused to leave her side felt like the most honest kind of love she'd ever known. Luna didn't bark much, didn't play with toys, didn't do tricks. She just existed in Olivia's orbit, always within reach, always watching. Most people barely noticed her, but Olivia noticed her constantly, especially at night, when the house got quiet and the loneliness pressed in. Luna would press back, literally, chin on Olivia's ankle, body against the couch, like she was saying, "I'm here, you're not alone." And for 3 years, that was enough. Until the night Luna had to prove she wasn't just attached, she was paying attention. That night wasn't supposed to be different. November 14th, a Thursday, unremarkable in every way. Olivia came home from work exhausted, microwaved leftovers she didn't finish, sat on the couch with her phone, scrolling through nothing. Luna settled at her feet, same spot as always, chin resting on Olivia's ankle. By 10:30 p.m., Olivia's eyes were closing. She didn't bother moving to the bedroom, hadn't slept there in weeks. The couch was easier, less empty. She pulled a blanket over herself, set her phone on the cushion beside her, let the TV stay on with the volume low. Luna shifted closer, pressed her back against the base of the couch. The camera in the corner recorded it all. The soft flicker of light from the TV, the rise and fall of Olivia's breathing, Luna's stillness. Nothing unusual. 10:47 p.m., Olivia's phone screen went dark. 11:23 p.m., Luna's ear twitched at a sound outside, a car door. She didn't get up. 12:18 a.m., the TV cycled to a late-night infomercial, still muted. 1:34 a.m., Olivia shifted in her sleep. The blanket slipped. Luna didn't move. Everything was normal. And then it wasn't. At 2:04 a.m., something changed. The footage doesn't show anything dramatic, no sound, no movement. But if you watch closely, you can see it. Olivia's breathing slowed. Not the kind of slow that means deep sleep, the kind that means something's wrong. Her chest rose, paused too long, rose again, paused even longer. The camera kept recording. Luna's ear twitched, then again. At 2:11 a.m., Luna lifted her head, just slightly, like she was listening to something no one else could hear. Her body went still, not relaxed, alert. She stayed like that for 6 minutes, frozen, listening. And then at 2:17 a.m., she moved. Not suddenly, not urgently, just slowly, deliberately, like she'd been awake the entire time, like she'd been waiting. Luna stood, took 3 steps forward, stopped directly in front of the couch, and stared at Olivia's face. The TV light cast shadows across Luna's eyes, but the camera caught it. The way her ears were pinned back, the way her whole body was tense, the way she wasn't blinking. She stood there, 30 seconds, a full minute. Olivia didn't move, didn't stir, didn't wake. And that's when Luna knew something was very, very wrong. This is the part that still doesn't make sense. Luna didn't panic, didn't bark, didn't jump on the couch or paw frantically at Olivia's arm. She just stood there, staring. The footage shows her waiting, perfectly still, like she was giving Olivia a chance to wake up on her own. 30 seconds passed. Luna's head tilted slightly. Her ears twitched forward, then back. She leaned in closer, close enough that her nose was inches from Olivia's face, and she waited again. Another 30 seconds. Nothing. Olivia's chest rose, stopped, rose again after too long. Luna took 1 step closer. Her body was trembling now. You could see it in the footage, the way her legs shook, the way her tail was tucked tight against her body. She wasn't calm. She was terrified, but she didn't make a sound. A full minute had passed since Luna first stood up, and Olivia still hadn't moved. That's when Luna did something she had never done before. She lifted her right paw, slowly, carefully, and placed it gently on Olivia's chest. Not hard, not frantic, just a soft, deliberate press, like she was checking, like she was saying, "Are you still there?" The camera caught the exact moment, 2:18 a.m. and 43 seconds. Luna held her paw there, 5 seconds, 10. Olivia didn't respond. Luna pressed a little firmer, still gentle, still controlled. Nothing. Her ears flattened completely now, her whole body lowered slightly, like she was bracing for something. She pulled her paw back, stared at Olivia's face again, and this time she leaned in so close her nose was almost touching Olivia's mouth. She stayed there, frozen, watching Olivia's lips, watching for breath. The footage is grainy, but you can see the moment Luna's body goes rigid because Olivia's breathing had stopped. Not for long, maybe 5 seconds, maybe less, but long enough for Luna to know this wasn't sleep anymore. This was something else, and waiting wasn't going to fix it. Luna placed both paws on Olivia's chest, not gently this time, firmly. She pressed down, enough to compress Olivia's ribcage, enough to force movement. The camera caught Olivia's body shifting slightly under the pressure, but her eyes stayed closed. Luna pulled back, pressed again, harder, still nothing. Her ears were pinned flat against her head now, her whole body shaking. And then she made a sound, not a bark, a low, broken whine. The kind that comes from deep in a dog's chest, the kind that sounds almost human, the kind dogs make when they're trying to wake you without scaring you. It started soft, barely audible on the footage. Luna's mouth opened slightly, the whine stretched out, long, desperate. She waited. Nothing. The whine grew louder, more urgent. Olivia didn't stir. Luna's body trembled harder now, full tremors running through her legs, her chest, her entire frame. She whined again, right in Olivia's face, and for the first time in 3 years, Luna did something she'd been trained never to do. She climbed onto the couch. The footage shows her hesitation, the way she lifted one paw onto the cushion, paused, then another. She'd never been allowed up there, not once, but she did it anyway. Both front paws on Olivia's chest now, all her weight behind them. She pressed down hard, hard enough to make Olivia's body compress, hard enough to force air through her lungs. Still, Olivia's eyes stayed closed.
Luna's whine turned sharper, more frantic. She pressed again, harder. Nothing. That's when Luna made the decision, the one that would either save Olivia's life or scare her half to death. She pulled her head back, opened her mouth, and barked, once, loud, sharp, right in Olivia's face. The sound exploded through the empty house. The camera's audio peaked, distorted from the volume. And finally, Olivia's eyes snapped open. But the look on her face wasn't confusion. It wasn't annoyance at being woken up. It was pure, primal panic. The look of someone who'd been drowning and didn't know it until they broke the surface. Olivia gasped. A sharp, desperate inhale, like her lungs had forgotten how to work and suddenly remembered. The room spun. Her chest burned. Her throat felt like it was closing. And Luna was on top of her. Paws pressed against her sternum, eyes locked on her face, body shaking so hard Olivia could feel it through her ribs. Olivia blinked, tried to focus, tried to understand why Luna, who'd never been on the couch, not once in 3 years, was standing over her like this. "Luna?" Her voice came out hoarse, broken. Luna didn't move, didn't step back, didn't wag her tail, didn't relax. She just stared. Not the way dogs look at their owners when they want something. The way someone looks at you when they're terrified you're about to disappear. Olivia's hand went to her chest. Her heart was pounding now, fast, erratic, like it was trying to catch up. Her breathing felt wrong, shallow, forced, like her body had to relearn how to do it. She tried to sit up. Her arms trembled, weak. Luna finally stepped back, just barely, just enough to let Olivia move. But she didn't leave the couch, didn't jump down. She stayed right there, inches away, watching every breath Olivia took. Olivia sat up slowly. The room tilted. She pressed both hands to her chest, trying to steady herself. "What?" She stopped, swallowed. "What happened?" Luna's ears were pinned flat, her tail tucked so tight it was invisible. She was panting, but not from exertion, from fear. Olivia looked at her, really looked at her, and somewhere in the fog of confusion, a thought started forming. Something had been wrong, very wrong, and Luna had known before she did. Olivia reached out slowly, touched the top of Luna's head. Luna leaned into her hand, hard, like she needed to feel that Olivia was real, was solid, was still here. They stayed like that for a long time, Olivia trying to breathe normally, Luna refusing to look away, neither of them understanding yet just how close they'd come. Olivia didn't go back to sleep. She sat on the couch for the next 3 hours, Luna pressed against her side, both of them awake, both of them waiting for something neither could name. When the sun finally came up, Olivia called in sick to work. She didn't know what to say, didn't know how to explain that something had happened, but she didn't understand what. By 9 a.m., she was still sitting there. Luna hadn't moved from her spot, hadn't relaxed, hadn't stopped watching. That's when Olivia remembered. The camera. Her hand trembled as she picked up her phone, opened the app, scrolled to last night's footage. She almost didn't watch it, almost convinced herself it didn't matter, that whatever happened was over now. But Luna's eye stopped her, the way she was still staring, still afraid. Olivia pressed play. The footage started at midnight. Nothing unusual, just her sleeping on the couch, Luna curled at her feet. She fast-forwarded. 12:30 a.m., still nothing. 1 a.m., same. 1:30 a.m., same. She kept scrolling. Her thumb hovered over the screen. And then she saw it. 2:04 a.m. Her chest, the way it moved, or didn't move. Olivia's finger froze. She watched herself sleeping, watched her chest rise, stop, rise again after too long. The timestamp ticked forward. 2:11 a.m., Luna's head lifted. 2:17 a.m., Luna stood up. Olivia's breath caught. She watched Luna walk to the couch, watched her stare, watched her place one gentle paw on Olivia's chest. The timestamp kept rolling. 2:18 a.m. Luna pressed harder. 2:20 a.m. Luna climbed onto the couch. Olivia's hands were shaking now. She watched Luna press down on her chest, watched herself not respond, watched Luna's body tremble with fear. And then the bark. Even through the phone speaker, it was loud, sharp, desperate. Olivia watched her own eyes snap open on screen, watched the panic on her face, watched Luna refuse to move. The footage ended. Olivia sat there, phone in her lap, staring at nothing. Luna had known. 12 seconds after Olivia's breathing changed at 2:04 a.m., Luna was awake. Not before, not after, exactly when it mattered. The camera didn't lie. Neither did the timestamps. Olivia's breathing had slowed, then stopped, just long enough to be dangerous. And Luna was paying attention. For how long? Hours? All night? How many times had this happened before when no one was watching? Olivia looked at Luna, still pressed against her side, still refusing to relax. "You knew," Olivia whispered. "You knew before I did." Luna's tail moved, just once, barely, like she was saying, "I've always known." Olivia pulled Luna closer, and for the first time since waking up, she let herself cry. Not from fear, from gratitude, because without that camera, she would have convinced herself it was nothing, a bad dream, anxiety, exhaustion. But the footage didn't let her lie. It showed the truth. She almost died last night, and Luna saved her. Olivia sat with her phone for another hour, replaying the footage, watching Luna save her life over and over. By 10 a.m., her hands wouldn't stop shaking. Her chest still felt tight. Her breathing still felt wrong. She looked at Luna, still pressed against her side, still watching, and she made the call. Not to Evelyn, not to a friend, to 911. "I need help," she said. "I think something's wrong with my breathing." The paramedics arrived 15 minutes later, asked questions, checked her vitals, saw the irregularity immediately. "We need to take you in," one of them said. Olivia looked at Luna. "I can't leave her." "Is there someone who can watch her?" Olivia called Evelyn. Her sister answered on the first ring. "Liv, what's wrong?" "I'm going to the hospital. Can you come get Luna?" Evelyn didn't ask questions. "I'm on my way." At the ER, they ran tests, blood work, EKG, oxygen levels. A doctor came in after an hour, young, maybe 35, tired eyes but steady hands. He sat down across from Olivia, looked at the chart, then at her. "Your vitals are stable now," he said, "but we found something." Olivia's stomach dropped. Sleep apnea, severe, and some irregular heart rhythms that suggest it's been going on for a while. "How long?" "Hard to say. Months, maybe longer." Olivia thought about all the nights she'd fallen asleep on the couch, all the mornings she'd woken up exhausted, all the times she'd blamed it on stress, or the divorce, or just getting older. "It's treatable," the doctor continued. "CPAP machine, medication, lifestyle changes. But," he paused, "if left untreated, it's dangerous. Your oxygen levels drop, your heart struggles, and in some cases, people don't wake up." The words hung in the air. Olivia's hands gripped the edge of the hospital bed. The doctor looked at her carefully. "Can I ask you something?" She nodded. "What woke you last night?" Olivia hesitated. It sounded insane, like something people would smile at politely and then dismiss. But she answered honestly, "My dog." The doctor didn't smile, didn't laugh, didn't look skeptical or condescending. He just nodded slowly, like he'd heard this before. "Then you're lucky she was there." Olivia's throat tightened.
"You believe me?" "I've been doing this for 12 years," he said, "and I've seen enough cases to know that dogs sense things we don't. Changes in breathing, heart rate, carbon dioxide levels. I don't know how they do it, but they do." He closed the chart, looked at her directly. "Most people don't get a warning. They just don't wake up. You did, because your dog wouldn't let you go." Olivia felt the tears coming, tried to hold them back. The doctor stood. "Get the CPAP, take the medication, and," he paused at the door, "keep that dog close." After he left, Evelyn arrived, walked into the room, and immediately pulled Olivia into a hug. "Your Luna saved your life," she whispered. Olivia nodded. She already knew, but hearing it from a doctor made it real, made it impossible to dismiss, made it impossible to ignore the fact that without Luna, she wouldn't be sitting here at all. Olivia came home from the hospital with a CPAP machine, 2 prescriptions, and a follow-up appointment in 3 weeks. Evelyn had stayed at the house. Luna was sitting by the door when Olivia walked in. Not jumping, not excited, just waiting, like she'd been there the entire time, watching the door, making sure Olivia came back. Olivia knelt down. Luna pressed her head against Olivia's chest, hard, like she was listening, checking, making sure everything was still working. "I'm okay, because of you," whispered Olivia. That night, Olivia set up the CPAP machine, put the mask on, turned off the lights. Luna took her spot beside the couch, same place as always, close, quiet, watching. Olivia doesn't tell the story often. When she does, people usually smile politely. Some nod. Some say, "That's amazing." Some change the subject. She understands. It sounds like one of those stories people tell to make their pets seem more special than they are. The kind of story that gets exaggerated over time until it's more myth than memory. If the camera wasn't recording, Olivia wouldn't believe it either. But the footage exists, time-stamped, undeniable, real. And every time someone dismisses it, Olivia just nods, doesn't argue, doesn't try to convince them, because the people who matter already know. The doctor knew, Evelyn knew, and Luna knew. She'd known all along. Every night now, when Olivia turns off the lights and settles onto the couch, Luna takes the same place beside her, close enough to touch, close enough to hear, close enough to act if she needs to. And sometimes, when Olivia drifts off, she feels it, the faintest pressure on her chest. Not heavy, not alarming, just enough to remind her. Luna is still watching, still paying attention, still ready. Because some dogs aren't just companions. They're not just pets you feed and walk and let sleep at your feet. They're guardians, the kind that notice when your breathing changes, the kind that won't let you slip away, the kind that save you in ways no one ever sees. Luna didn't ask for recognition that night, didn't expect a reward. She just acted, because that's what guardians do. And Olivia will spend the rest of her life making sure Luna knows something too, that she didn't just save a life that night. She saved the person who needed her most, the person who rescued a trembling, anxious dog from a shelter 3 years ago because she looked into those desperate eyes and saw herself. They saved each other, and now, every night, they keep saving each other, one breath at a time. Luna couldn't tell anyone what she did that night, but you can. You just watched a story about a dog who refused to give up on the person she loved. If that moved you, if that made you see dogs differently, don't let this moment disappear. Subscribe, share this story. Be the voice for every Luna out there still waiting to save someone. 1 click, 1 second. That's all it takes to make sure stories like this never go unnoticed.